Sometimes, it seems like there's nothing new left in engine technology. We've seen everything, tried everything. But then, a company creates a breakthrough that shakes the entire auto industry. This time, it's Cummins, the same Cummins that has been a symbol of trust for decades. The company has now introduced an engine that not only challenges how we think about fuel, but has the potential to redefine the entire truck and heavy vehicle segment. But this isn't just another engine. It's powered by a revolutionary idea, a technology so advanced, it could potentially challenge diesel, petrol, gas, and even hydrogen. Auto experts have been left stunned, calling it a glimpse of the future. But the question remains, is it truly a game changer or just another marketing show-off? Cummins had kept this project under wraps for months. No leaks, no teasers. And now, suddenly, this engine is here, and it's not only more powerful but also incredibly clean and eco-friendly. Even staunch supporters of green energy are applauding it. So, how exactly will this engine disrupt the entire auto industry? And why is it being hailed as a game changer? Before we dive into the details of this new engine, let's take a moment to understand the story behind Cummins. How did a small startup evolve into a global powerhouse? It wasn't an overnight success. The journey is rooted in more than a century of hard work, innovation, and the dream of making a meaningful impact. The foundation of the Cummins Company was laid in 1919 in Columbus, a small town in the state of Indiana, USA. At that time, it was just a basic engine manufacturing firm, but the ambitions of founder Clessie Lyle Cummins and his partner William G. Irwin were enormous. Clessie Cummins, a skilled mechanic, had a deep passion for technology and performance. He firmly believed that diesel engines could revolutionize not only heavy machinery, but also everyday transportation. In its early days, the company faced many challenges. Diesel engines were still a novelty, and petrol engines dominated the market. The company incurred losses but refused to give up. In the 1930s, Cummins executed a bold publicity stunt. They put their diesel-powered vehicles through a long-distance test drive from New York to Los Angeles. It was a risky move, but it worked. It proved that diesel engines were fast, reliable, and economical. That's when the tides began to turn for Cummins. During World War II, the company supplied engines to the military, strengthening its foundation and boosting its production capabilities. By the 1950s, Cummins had become the most trusted name in truck and bus engines across the U.S. gradually. It set its sights on international markets, first Latin America, then Europe, and eventually Asia. Cummins' entry into India is also a remarkable story. In 1962, they formed a joint venture with the Tata Group in Pune, creating Tata Cummins. This marked the beginning of a trucking revolution in India. Transporters who were once plagued by engine breakdowns now had access to robust and reliable diesel engines that performed well on long routes. Over time, Cummins expanded its footprint in India, entering sectors like railways, construction, power generation, and even marine engines. What set the company apart was its refusal to depend on a single product line. Cummins consistently invested in research and development, whether to improve fuel efficiency or to pioneer environmentally friendly technology. Today, Cummins operates in over 190 countries and holds thousands of patents. It has grown beyond engine manufacturing to include hybrid and electric power systems, hydrogen fuel cell technology, and advanced software solutions. Cummins has become a key player in the global supply chain with manufacturing plants in the U.S., UK, China, India, Brazil, and Germany. Now, the company is not just about delivering power. It's about delivering smart, sustainable, and future-ready power. So, what exactly is this new engine from Cummins? What makes it so special that it's causing such a stir in the industry? Let's finally unveil the mystery. The engine is called the X15N. The name may sound technical, but the performance and innovation behind it are truly remarkable. Introduced to the world in 2023, the X15N caught the attention of many, but now that its production and distribution are ramping up, it's being called a genuine industry game changer. You might be wondering, what's so revolutionary about the X15N? Well, unlike traditional diesel engines, this is a natural gas engine. It doesn't run on petrol or diesel. It runs on fuels like CNG, compressed natural gas, or RNG, renewable natural gas. That alone makes it stand out from anything else on the market. Initially presented at a few select events and motor shows as a prototype, the engine is now entering full production. Major trucking operators are already preparing to add it to their fleets. It's clear that Cummins has made a bold move, and they've done it at exactly the right moment. Now let's talk about its intended use. What type of vehicles is the X15N built for? The answer is heavy-duty commercial vehicles. Those that carry massive loads, travel long distances daily, and form the backbone of logistics operations. This includes long-haul trucks, large trailers, intercity buses, mining machines, construction vehicles, and even railway engines. The X15N has been purposely designed for these applications, delivering both high performance and operational cost savings. With a power output of 400 to 500 horsepower, the X15N is capable of propelling even the largest trucks. Now, imagine getting that much power using CNG or renewable gas instead of diesel. The potential savings, both in fuel costs and environmental impact, are massive, and it all comes without sacrificing performance. Cummins' strategy is crystal clear. In the near future, companies operating fleets of trucks and buses will need engines that are not only powerful but also fuel-smart. Given the ever-increasing prices of petrol and diesel and growing government regulations in favor of clean energy, engines like the X15N may well be the future of the transport industry. In today's global shift towards green energy, Cummins has introduced a solution that strikes the perfect balance between performance, affordability, and environmental responsibility. The X15N engine. What makes this engine even more appealing is its compatibility with existing truck models. Companies do not need to purchase entirely new vehicles. They can simply upgrade their existing diesel engines with the X15N. This plug-and-play capability has significantly increased its popularity. Furthermore, the X15N is easy to service and maintain. Unlike traditional diesel engines, it doesn't emit black smoke and avoids bulky components, making it cleaner and more cost-effective over time. Truck drivers also benefit from reduced service needs, cutting down on frequent visits to the workshop. Cummins has strategically designed the X15N for major markets, such as the United States, Canada, Europe, and India, regions where logistics and public transportation are booming industries. Particularly in India, where CNG supply is expanding beyond urban areas to highways, the adoption of this engine could be rapid. Cummins also plans to scale this technology to develop mid-size and smaller engines to serve a wider range of public transport and commercial vehicles. The X15N isn't just another product launch. It marks a new direction. It signals that the future of heavy vehicles no longer lies in diesel, but in clean and green fuels, and Cummins is positioning itself at the forefront of this transformation. Fuel flexibility is one of the X15N's strongest selling points. At a time when the global market is demanding vehicles that are both cost-efficient and environmentally responsible, Cummins has stepped up with an engine designed to support multiple fuel types. It's not limited to diesel or petrol. It can run on CNG, biogas, renewable natural gas, RNG, and even hydrogen in the near future. Cummins is planning for a future where fuel flexibility will be crucial. Governments in countries like the US, Germany, and India are already encouraging a move away from fossil fuels, and the X15N arrives at the perfect time. Not only can it run on current clean fuels, but the company also claims it will soon support hydrogen, without needing major engine modifications. You may ask, how does this engine perform on clean fuels like hydrogen? Initial trials have shown promising results. When configured correctly, the X15N operates smoothly on hydrogen and achieves near-zero carbon emissions. It's powerful, it's clean, and it doesn't compromise on performance. As hydrogen fueling infrastructure expands in the coming years, the X15N's relevance will only grow. This brings us to the most important aspect of any engine: power and performance. Drivers need assurance that their vehicles can handle the demands of long-distance transport. In this area, too, the X15N excels. With an output of 400 to 500 horsepower, the engine can effortlessly handle long-haul trucks and heavy-duty vehicles. It delivers high torque even at low RPMs, which means smoother starts, easier hill climbs, and better towing capacity. Drivers won't need to shift gears frequently, making for a more comfortable and efficient driving experience. Moreover, The engine is built to run for extended periods without overheating or breaking down. Fewer breakdowns mean more uptime and fewer service interruptions. When it comes to mileage, the X15N is also a step ahead. On natural gas, it offers about 10 to 15% better mileage than diesel. Add to that the significantly lower fuel costs of CNG or RNG, and fleet operators could save thousands monthly. It's ideal for highway and long-distance applications, which is why transport and logistics companies are so enthusiastic. Another standout feature is its durability. New engineering materials and advanced thermal management make the X15N more resistant to overheating and wear. It has a longer service interval and reduces total operational costs over time. The engine is engineered to stay relevant for the next 10 to 15 years. As fuel technologies evolve, this engine is ready to evolve with them. If you're using CNG today, you could switch to hydrogen tomorrow without needing a full engine replacement. This makes the X15N not just a power unit, but a future-proof solution. It's ideal for companies looking to modernize their fleets and embrace clean energy, while still demanding power, performance, fuel flexibility, and long-term reliability, all in a single package. So, what exactly is new inside this engine? That's the question everyone asks when a new model is launched. The answer lies in the advanced technology under the hood. The Cummins X15N isn't just a renamed diesel engine. It's a complete rethinking of powertrain engineering. One of its key innovations is a new thermal management system. Traditional diesel engines tend to heat up quickly, especially under continuous highway loads or heavy weight. But the X15N features an advanced cooling system that regulates temperature efficiently, allowing the engine to run longer without fatigue. This improves both fuel efficiency and overall engine life. Next is the smart control unit and software system. The X15NS operation is monitored entirely through an intelligent system. If a particular component is under strain or the torque drops, the software auto-adjusts the engine settings. No manual input from the driver is required. It even features an AI-based performance monitoring system, which tracks the vehicle's status in real time and alerts the operator to any irregularities. This not only helps prevent mechanical failures, but ensures the engine remains in peak condition over thousands of kilometers. All of Cummins' advanced systems, including the X15N engine, are connected to the company's cloud-based tracking platform. This allows truck owners or fleet managers to monitor the status of their vehicles remotely, from engine condition and fuel consumption to maintenance schedules. Now, let's address one of the most critical questions: cost comparison between traditional diesel engines and the new X15N. At first glance, the X15N does have a higher upfront cost due to its advanced technology and green fuel capabilities. However, the real savings show up in daily operations, especially for trucks that travel hundreds of kilometers each day. Since the X15N runs on CNG or biogas, which are much cheaper than diesel, companies can expect 15% to 20% savings per kilometer. Imagine a fleet of 100 trucks, each covering 300 to 400 kilometers daily. This could result in monthly savings of lakhs in fuel costs alone. In the long run, this makes the X15N far more economical and profitable. The engine also offers longer part life, fewer breakdowns, and extended service intervals, reducing the need for frequent garage visits and minimizing vehicle downtime. A major concern for many fleet operators is whether the X15N can be installed in existing trucks. The good news is, yes, it can. Cummins has designed the engine specifically with retrofitting in mind. If a company wants to upgrade from diesel to a cleaner fuel, there's no need to purchase a new truck. Just replace the engine. After a few basic modifications, the old truck is road-ready again. The modular design of the X15N ensures that it can be fitted into a wide range of truck models. While some custom adjustments may be required depending on the vehicle, retrofitting is still significantly cheaper than buying new trucks. Cummins is actively working on retrofitting centers across key markets like India, the US, and Europe, where governments are trying to phase out old diesel vehicles. Since a complete shift to electric vehicles isn't yet feasible, such transitional technologies are proving extremely useful. However, this raises another question. Are there enough fuel stations to support trucks powered by CNG, biogas, or hydrogen? Let's start with CNG, the most widely used fuel for the X15N. In the United States, especially in states like California, Texas, and New York, the number of CNG stations is growing steadily. Public transport and school buses already rely heavily on CNG, and logistics companies are even building private CNG stations along highways to maintain fleet efficiency. In Europe, countries like Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and France are leading the way. The European Union is investing billions of euros to expand hydrogen fueling stations and green fuel infrastructure. European trucking companies are also adopting hybrid models, running on CNG where available and switching to diesel or hydrogen when necessary. In Asia, especially India and China, the infrastructure is expanding quickly. India already has over 6,000 CNG stations, and that number is projected to exceed 10,000 in the next few years. The Indian government is supporting this growth through special schemes to develop both CNG and electric charging stations along national highways and expressways. Given India's vast logistics sector and rising diesel prices, adoption of green technologies like CNG is accelerating. Hydrogen, on the other hand, is still in its infancy. Its stations are currently limited to select cities in the U.S., Japan, and parts of Europe. However, countries like Germany and Japan are investing heavily in hydrogen infrastructure, aiming to build hundreds of new stations in the next 5 years. Cummins is fully aware of this shift and isn't just stopping at engine development. The company is expanding its service and fuel support infrastructure in parallel. Cummins is deploying trained engineers, mobile service units, and real-time support systems. So even if a truck breaks down in a remote location, a GPS-enabled team can reach it immediately. Additionally, Cummins is partnering with major fuel distribution networks to ensure reliable supply. Their goal is to have at least one fuel support point within 100 kilometers of every customer by 2026. This makes the transition smoother and reduces concerns about fuel availability. Now another big question arises. With the entire world moving toward electric vehicle EVs, how does the Cummins X15N fit into this picture? Are EVs and green fuel engines on separate paths, or are they in competition? To understand this, consider the core goals of both technologies: clean energy, reduced emissions, and minimal maintenance. The difference lies in their power source. EVs rely on batteries, while the X15N uses clean-burning fuels like CNG or hydrogen. So, if an engine can offer low-cost, long-distance travel without diesel or pollution, does it reduce the need for EVs? The answer is nuanced. One of the biggest hurdles for EV trucks is a lack of charging infrastructure, limited range, and the high cost of batteries. In the world of long-haul trucking, where vehicles cover hundreds of kilometers daily, EVs are not yet fully practical. Charging takes time, and battery replacement or maintenance is costly. This is where the X15N shines. It doesn't directly compete with EVs, but rather fills the gap until EVs become more viable for long-haul applications. Engines like the X15N act as a reliable bridge for companies that cannot immediately shift to electric, but still want a cleaner, more sustainable option. In this transitional period, the X15N provides a perfect balance between power, range, eco-friendliness, and affordability. People are definitely looking to move away from diesel, and this raises a question. Will Cummins' new engine slow down the progress of EV technology? The answer is no, but it can definitely delay it. Why? Because fleet owners and trucking companies are more likely to choose an engine that is cheaper, provides greater range, and already has a solid support system in place. Currently, CNG and hydrogen-based engines appear to be more reliable than electric vehicles, especially for heavy-duty transportation. However, this strategic move by Cummins may actually push EV companies to innovate faster. When a gas-powered engine is launched with such efficiency and performance, EV manufacturers will be forced to improve battery range, charging speed, and overall performance. This means both technologies, EV and green fuel engines, are competing but also driving each other to improve. Cummins itself isn't isolated from the EV revolution. In fact, they're also investing in hydrogen fuel cells, electric motors, and hybrid power systems. Their vision is not to make EVs and gas engines rivals, but rather to balance both based on application. The core philosophy is use whatever technology is best suited for the job. That's why the X15N isn't here to end EV adoption, but to give those who can't afford EVs yet a powerful, clean, and affordable option. It's a smart bridge to the future. So, if you think the world will be entirely battery-powered soon, think again. And if you're wondering whether a green fuel engine can compete with EVs, the answer is a resounding yes. Now that Cummins has launched its powerful new X15N engine, another question comes to mind. Who is its real competition? Is it only up against India's domestic players like Tata Motors and Ashok Leyland, or are global giants like Tesla, BYD, and Toyota feeling the heat too? The truth is, the Cummins engine is quietly but directly challenging these major international names. On one end, there's Tesla Semi, which is fully electric. Then there's Toyota, investing heavily in hydrogen fuel cell technology. And BYD, known for long-range electric buses and trucks. But they all face a major hurdle: limited battery range, long charging times, and expensive tech. This is where Cummins made a smart move. The X15N doesn't depend on battery charging or complex EV infrastructure. Just fill it with CNG or biogas, and it's ready to roll. It's a shortcut solution that avoids the high costs and technological barriers of EVs and hydrogen cells. This is like a warning shot to companies like Tesla and BYD, especially in the logistics industry, where cost reduction is king. If a cleaner engine is also cheaper than diesel, it's a no-brainer. As for India manufacturers like Tata and Ashok Leyland, this engine could be a major disruption. While they're still toggling between diesel and EV strategies, Cummins has carved a third path, clean and practical. Government projects and public transport systems are already leaning towards CNG-based fleets, which might further eat into the market share of traditional players. Internally, the industry is buzzing with excitement. Auto experts and fleet operators are treating this not as a prototype, but as a real-world ready solution. That's why international logistics firms have already placed pre-orders for the X15N. The biggest fear among competitors is that once fleet operators adopt multi-fuel engines, demand for EV or hydrogen trucks might decline, especially in areas where charging stations or hydrogen fuel stops are still rare. That's why companies like BYD and Toyota are now revisiting their strategies. Cummins is no longer just an engine manufacturer. It's become a global competitor, ready to challenge EV and hydrogen tech leaders. While Tesla may dominate headlines with flashy reveals, Cummins lets its performance speak for itself. This is proof that engine innovation is far from over, and often it's the quietest breakthroughs that shake up the industry the most. Now, whenever we talk about engines, the first concern is usually environmental impact. But with the Cummins X15N, the story changes. This engine is far cleaner than traditional diesel models because it runs on CNG, biogas, and even renewable gas. Carbon emissions are cut down by nearly 90%, and when renewable gas is used, it can reach net zero emissions. That makes this engine not just affordable for businesses, but also gentle on the planet. Its design is aligned with the goals of the Paris Climate Accord and supports companies in achieving their ESG, environmental, social, and governance commitments. So, who's using this tech already? In the U.S., major logistics names like PepsiCo, Amazon, and UPS are testing it in their fleets. In Europe, companies like DB Schenker and DPD have shown interest. In India, both private fleet operators and government bus systems have started trials. And in China, metro city transport departments are also expressing interest, thanks to better CNG infrastructure. Even government bodies are jumping in, planning to deploy these engines in public transportation, sanitation, and municipal fleets. Clearly, the Cummins X15N is not just a private sector innovation. It's becoming part of the public infrastructure revolution. If you want more updates on such groundbreaking technology, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back soon with another powerful innovation that's changing the world.